Right, so recording permission has been given for everyone now. If it's not come through, that's the Zoom thing. I'm sorry, we do have a recording as well that we can share if there's a problem. Just wait for the cameraman to give us the nod. He's happy. We'll start off with James from Sky. Then we'll move on to PLP, which is Jake, who I can't actually see yet, so I might have to let him in. And then obviously we'll go through today with everyone in. There's Jake. Sorry. We'll go through then with everyone who wants to release under immediate embargo. We'll have a second embargo, 10:30 this evening for tomorrow's papers, if those interested in that. But we are just about ready to go, I think. So we'll start with James from Sky. Yeah.
Hi, Thomas. What's the injury COVID news from your camp?
Hi, James. Injury COVID news is that hopefully Ivan is available. We'll find out later today. Besides that, it will be the same players. Yeah, of course, Sergi is coming back from suspension. Then the same players from last game.
So Ivan Toney could be available. He's out of isolation by time of the game, is it?
Yeah.
That's a huge boost for you, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. To be fair, I don't think it's benefited his fitness the last 10 days, but it's a big boost that he's available for the game. Yeah. Despite
his isolation, you'll play him because he's that valuable to you, presumably.
Let's see tomorrow if I'll start him or he'll come off the bench.
And no more COVID cases from your camp then, because you had Tony and Pinnock, didn't you?
Yeah, not this moment in time, but we still have more than 24 hours.
Indeed, and we're hearing of a COVID outbreak at Manchester United. What have you made of that, and is the game in doubt in your view?
We are planning to play the game. That's what we are focusing on. We can't control anything else. I think it needs to be a significant amount of COVID cases before the game can be cancelled. To be fair, I think it's a little bit. I'm a little bit in doubt. When is it enough cases for the game to be cancelled? But I guess that the Tottenham situation is the precedents we're going forward. I guess so. But other than that, I'm just planning for playing the game.
As we head into the winter and more cases will happen and other clubs will go through this, do you think there needs to be a bit of clarity on exactly what number of cases constitutes a postponement?
I think, of course, first and foremost, I think it's a very tricky situation, and I think it's very important that the Premier League and all of us following the normal society rules or restrictions. I think that's very important. And then I think if we could make it very clear what the restriction or what the rules are for a cancel a game, I think that'll be good. But I think all that is just speculations and taking focus away from what we all want, focusing on what's happening on the pitch.
Are you concerned about the increasing number of COVID cases across the league? Do you think this is sustainable through the winter?
I'm 100% sure that the Premier League will continue through the winter. No doubt about that. That's the reason why we have the vaccines, the boosters. We will continue. I'm not doubt about that.
And what extra precautions are you guys taking?
I think we are, as I said, I think every club, every person in the world can be hit by the COVID. I think we're doing a lot in terms of try to avoid cases, but people they're actually not here for 24 hours at the training ground, so they're going home, they're going out food shopping, they're going out for dinners, which I think is the right thing to do. You need to live a normal life, of course. Be aware, be sensible, like everything else, but we are very aware of face mask and distance and shorter meetings and all that.
And sorry to bang on about COVID, but can your players get the booster jabs now? Have they got them as of this week?
I think honestly, I'm pretty sure we are close to give players booster jabs. I don't know actually. I know we have a lot of players that are vaccinated, but that's definitely something as soon as we can. I heard this morning from BBC London that apparently we're going to have 1 million jabs a day going into Christmas. So I guess that's also our players.
And in terms of United, could this work in your favour a little bit, them having a few players unavailable, do you think, as unfortunate as it is?
That United have a few players unavailable?
Yes, I know you do too.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Just to get it right, we're just missing last year's top scorer, one of our best centre backs. And I think we are playing one of the biggest clubs in the world, maybe the biggest club, not the best team in England right now. Decent players, what is it called? This number 7, Ronaldo, Rashford, Hernandez, maybe the most creative player in the Premier League last 2 years. So I think he will even out. I don't know, of course, I think.
But you must be thrilled with how you managed so far with these players missing. And how do you take on United? How do you ensure you stop those big names you mentioned?
Yeah, I think it's very important that we do what we try to do. Of course, play as many minutes where we can be aggressive, pressing them high. There'll also be moments definitely where we need to be unbelievable solid in the low block. But the more we can press forward, the more we can be aggressive. Big plus. And then of course on the ball, I think we need to pleased with what we did against Watford. I know it's a different team we're facing now, but the way we managed to pin them back second half, I know we were chasing, but still I think it was quite impressive. It was not everything was perfect on the ball. I think we made too many simple mistakes, but I liked our structure. I liked our intentions.
And finally, for me, what have you made of United under Rangnick? I know it's early days yet, but they're unbeaten under him, 2 consecutive clean sheets. Have you seen a difference?
As you said, it's a short number of samples to really analyze a lot from. But I agree that 1-2 games, 2 clean sheets. I think they looked a bit more solid. More difficult to break down. Of course, I know they played Crystal Palace and Norwich, and no disrespect to any clubs, but I think Man United, if they have a little bit believe in themselves, they want to win those games relatively. How can you say, safe or no problems. I think they pressed a lot more, especially against Crystal Palace. So I expect a team that is coming them in the Ralph Rangnick, how can you say, trademark or the way you want to do it in a 4-2-2-2 pressing energy. I think that's what he wants to try to do.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, James. You're welcome.
We'll have Jake next from Premier League, please.
Morning, Thomas. Just talking about the Watford game, then, is it results like that and outcomes, how it ended, that's basically how you see your season being defined come the end of the season?
It was definitely a very important result for us. Very pleased with the performance, especially in terms of that determination and mentality part of the game. I know you all know there's tactical elements, there's the technical elements, and the fitness level, but the mindset or the mental part of it is so huge. And I'm so impressed and pleased with the determination the players are showing. We're playing against Watford, a good side. We have a lot of injuries, COVID cases. We're going 1-0 down. Everything where you could, excuses don't want to work, but we just keep going. After the equalizer, keep going, try to score the second one. I think that's incredible, and that's the determination and mentality that hopefully can give us even more wins going forward.
How happy are you then with the return of 20 points from 16 games?
I always want more. And I think actually we played too more. If you look at the performances, if you look at the stats, if you analyze the games, I think we deserve more points than we had so far. So that's what I'm looking at. But also look at the positive. I think taking the injuries into an account to look at that and the COVID case, I think in that perspective, I think it's pretty good. But I'm not dwelling on it. We can't use it to anything. It's looking backwards. We need to look forward. We have a pretty big game tomorrow, and that's what I'm focusing on.
You mentioned COVID and some of the injuries. Obviously, the defence is where you've probably been hit the hardest. Is that something that worries you at the moment?
I must say, going into the Watford game with only 2 available centre backs out of 6, I think that was that's going to be a nice challenge. But we manage. We find a way. The players have been adaptable, open-minded. I think Vitaly Janelt, what a personality, what a player. Just no problem. I step in, I'll do the job. Texting Ethan before, and Ethan is replying back. Do your job, be yourself. You'll do very fine. So we have such a tight group that just want the best for each other, and I think that helps us massively.
And just a couple more. It was touched on sort of there about the formation that Manchester United have been playing under Ralph Rangnick. You mentioned that the 4-2-2-2. I mean, is this something that you look at and you've been looking at and trying to work out how to go to play against that?
Yeah, I've known the what do you call the Red Bull style or the Ralph Rangnick style for many years. I think where it was most impressive, I'm pretty sure it was the Salzburg when they played against Ajax quite a few years ago. So I've known that formation and style for quite a long time. So yeah, we will look into it where we can try to exploit it and do what we can to hurt that system and team. But of course, he does it for a reason, because he believes in it, and it's really good to implement it into his teams.
Thanks. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
So we'll go to James Sabundra next, please, from TalkSport.
Thank you. Hi, Thomas. How are you?
I'm good, James. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thomas, it's already been spoken about, 20 points from 16 games. And you've always said to us, it's always about the next game. It's always about finishing as high as possible. But do you feel like you're ahead of schedule?
No, honestly, no. Because of course, as I said also many times, I'm aware that people are speaking about 40 points and all that. So also I'm pretty good at math. So I also know that if you get 20 before we played 19 games, it's okay. But it's not important for me. I think, honestly, if you get too carried away or look too much backwards, you need to stay in the moment. Unbelievable awareness on top training today, top preparation. We need to give it unbelievable put a top performance in tomorrow against United, and then I think we have a big opportunity to get 3 points, and that's what we are working so hard for. And if you have that mindset, then hopefully we are collecting a lot and picking up a lot of points through the season, and hopefully that means we can end as high as possible.
When you consider the atmosphere and the performances against Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea, do you think you're a side that these big teams don't want to come and play against?
Hopefully, I would like that. To be fair, I'm pretty sure all the players and the manager and everyone involved in Man United have played in much bigger stadiums, much bigger occasions, many times. So we are just, and I can say that, a Bostop and Hounslow that they need to face tomorrow. Of course, they know they need to come and do the job. So the big question mark for them and for us, who is actually turning up on the day, and that's not that, that's all. You never know. We will do our best to be prepared and to attack.
You mentioned some of the players that United have got at their disposal, the likes of Fernandes and Ronaldo. As a manager, do you enjoy the challenge of trying to come up with plans to defend against these talents?
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely that it's I like that part of the game, the preparation and the analysis of opponents and key players. I think let's take Hernandez or Rashford or Sancho and Ronaldo. But especially there's a relationship between Fernandes, sorry, and Ronaldo, and we can do our best with the structure to close them down. But for me, it's those key moments where that moment of brilliance, where you're just relaxing, oh, I haven't created anything. Then Fernandes just on the half turn, just putting that perfect ball in. You know, you think, okay, Ronaldo is doing nothing. Bang, he's running in behind. Those are the moments we need to solve very well tomorrow, because those are the key moments. In maybe 88 minutes of the game, we will be fine, but there'll be 4 minutes spread over the game where we need to be bang on, and there'll maybe be 8 moments or 10 moments where we need to either survive or do fantastic.
And you spoke there about enjoying the preparation. Is it tough to prepare for this Manchester United side while they're still taking Ralph Rangnick's message on board? They might not be 100% able to apply what he's wanting them to do on the pitch. So is that a challenge in itself?
Yeah, I think I have the biggest respect for Ralph Rangnick. I think what he's created over the years has been quite remarkable and implemented a clear style. I think that you can't get more praise as a football person. That's why I think he's a little bit underestimated as a football person or a big coach in the football world, because what he has implemented in different clubs is very impressive. I think he's really good, but even Ralph is not a magician. I think even Guardiola or Klopp or these guys would say that they needed maybe a tiny bit more than 3 games to get everything up to 100%. So in that aspect, of course, they will not be top performing the way he wants right now. Of course not. But they still have unbelievable players that we've seen through this season that have so much quality that if we're not top performing, we will struggle massively.
And just finally for me, Thomas, you spoke about it earlier with James. When it comes to the rising COVID cases in the country and in playing squads at the moment, do we simply just need to press forward, even though it means that some teams may be without some players?
Yeah, of course, to a certain point, of course. I don't know where that number is. If there's I guess there was, I don't know actually, and maybe it's just me. So maybe it's not me and it's not updated enough, but I could only read, I think it was Sky News, was it 8 players and 5 staff members? That is 13. So I don't know if it was the total amount or it was the 8 players that was enough to close down the training ground and to postpone the 2 games. If that's the situation, that's the marker we need to go for going forward, I think. And if you have less than that, we need to carry on, because else it'll be too messy.
Thanks, Thomas. All the best.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good morning, Thomas. How are you?
Morning. I'm good, Uzi. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Just a question. First question. When you were promoted at Wembley, were these the nights that you, or like such as tomorrow and of course Arsenal, were these the nights that you looked forward to and dreamed of?
As I said, every game is the most important, and Man United is the most important right now. Of course, I'm also aware that it's a massive club, and it's, you know, going into the game, I haven't even, you know, now I'm just preparing for a team with 11 players and then try to do the best to close them down. I hope for myself that will be 5 minutes before the game, I'm just, this is quite nice. This is going to be a good experience. And then I know when Andrea Marina are blowing the whistle, I know, okay, now it's a game like anyone else. I just badly want to win. But of course, it's a nice moment to look forward to.
And obviously, you know, United, they're not, of course, as a massive club, but they're not quite the same side that blitzed their way to the Premier League title 9 years ago. But ever since, particularly after the Watford game on Friday, how much have you and the players, pardon the pun, been buzzing for this one?
I think today you'll see you will looking forward to it. I didn't actually speak too much to the players yesterday about the Man United game. We more had a debrief on the Watford game, reflecting a little bit back on that, looking at the individual performances. So today we will look into it, and of course I'll do my very best. I don't think, every game my players will be unbelievable motivated to try to do their best. But of course, I think it's completely natural that this game they will just look, okay, this is going to be a bit, just a tiny bit more interesting in a way.
And staying with United, they were just come off the back of a game against another fellow newly promoted side in Norwich, who pretty fair to say were very unfortunate not to take something from that game. Do you feel maybe that you and your team could maybe like take advantage of some of United's weaknesses, particularly in defence and midfield?
I hope so. That's what we want to try to do. I think besides from the Burnley game, I think every game we played so far, we've shown that we can stay in them, and we have a chance to get something out of it. I have a massive belief that we can go into this game tomorrow and try to do it our way, try to attack, try to be front-footed with a positive offensive mindset. And if we are bang on, I'm sure we can create problems for Man United.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, welcome.
Right, no more hands at the moment, so we'll move on to second section.